So we're now going to start our first test with the metal cations, and in this one we will be adding potassium hydroxide. I know your handle says sodium hydroxide, but we'll be adding hydroxide ions to each one of these metal ion solution, and then you'll make your observations.
So the first metal ion is Fe2+. Add a few drops. Okay, so add some more.
Excellent.
Okay, so the next one is Fe3+. Now we have Cu2+. Pb2+. Ca2+. Zn2+.
Excellent.
And then we have Cr. Go back to the Cr3+.
So we have in the first test tube Fe3+, then we have Fe2+, then Fe3+, Cu2+, Pb2+, Ca2+, Zn2+, and Cr3+. Okay, this is a chromium. Then we have the zinc. Then we have calcium, lead, copper 2, iron 3. Notice how the solid settles out of the solution. And then iron 2. Please take your observations. So now we're going to do the second test with the cations using ammonium solution. In this test tube I have Cr3 and I will be adding
add a few drops of diluted ammonia. Now in this test tube, I have xenon 2, and I will also be adding a few drops of dilute ammonium. In the next test tube, number 3, I have Pb2+, and I will be adding a few drops of dilute ammonium. I'm adding a few more drops of dilute ammonium. In the next test tube, there is Ca2+, and I'll be adding a few drops of dilute ammonium. That's more dilute ammonium added. Next test tube, there is Cu2+. Again, I'll be adding a few drops of dilute ammonium. Some more dilute ammonium will be added. In the next test tube, there is Fe2+, and I'll be adding a few drops of dilute ammonium. Now I'll add some more drops of the dilute ammonium. And in the final test tube, there is Fe3+, and I'll be adding a few drops of dilute ammonium. A few more drops of dilute ammonium.
So there you have it. Reaction of your cations with ammonia solution. So from the top you had chromium 3 followed by Zn, chromium 3 to the extreme right, followed by Zn2+, followed by Pb2+, followed by Ca2+, followed by Cu2+, then the Fe2, then Fe3+. So those are your observations. Please ensure that you record them appropriately and answer the questions that follow. Okay, this test we're going to use barium chloride solution, and the test solutions that you have here from your left are carbonate, sulfite, and sulfate. So we will just add the chloride, the barium chloride solution to that at this time. This is for the carbonate. Record your observation, that's the carbonate. Next, we will do the sulfite. That's to the sulfite. And the third test tube is the sulfate. Good. So those are the 3 test tubes from the left: carbonate, sulfite, sulfate. Now we're going to test the solubility of these 3 precipitates with HCl. So that's what's going to be added now. Carbonate. So that was the carbonate. Ensure you get your observations correct. Next we will do the sulfite. So that's it, that's the sulfite. Next we will do the sulfate. Okay, so there you have it. From your extreme left, the carbonate, then the sulfite, and then the sulfate to your right. So please take your observations. Okay, so this is a test with silver nitrate solution. We're going to add it to chlorine, bromine, iodine, sulfite, and carbonate. From your left, from your right to left. Let's go. That is chloride. Bromide. Iodide. Sulfite. And carbonate. Those are your precipitates with silver nitrate. So we have from the top chloride, bromide, iodide, sulfite, and carbonate. Take your observations. So now we'll divide the chloride in half. We'll test one half with ammonia solution and the other one with nitric acid. So we're adding nitric acid to the first half. This is the chloride. Okay, and then we'll add ammonia to the second half. And that's your observation for the chloride after some vigorous shaking. So you can record your results. Now we're going to divide the bromide into two. And we're going to add ammonia to one part. Yes, and then we'll add nitric acid to the other part. Okay, record your observations. Now we're going to divide the iodide ion into two parts. To the first part we will add ammonia solution. Okay, so take your observations there. And then we're going to add nitric acid into the other half. Now we're going to divide the SO3 2-, the sulfite ion, into two parts. To the first part we're going to add ammonia solution. To the second part we're going to add nitric acid. There you have it. That's for your SO3 2-. Now we have the carbonate. To one part we're going to add the nitric acid. To the other part, we're going to add ammonia solution. Okay, so take your observations.